Hey, good afternoon. Back in the cold, so I'm back in the car. It's just the way it is. Northern Illinois. We got snow. We're in the single digits, negative numbers overnight. But anyway, so today I want to talk about 5 of the secrets of secret lifestyle habits of the people that are considered to be the happiest retirees. This information was gathered by Forbes. And posted, and they what they did is interviewed hundreds of retirees and came up with similarities. So these are the 5 of the number one habits that these folks had that kept them happy. So anyway, these are in no particular order. One's not necessarily more important than the other, so I'm just listing them in the way that I thought they were interesting. The 4th one I'm going to tell you about is I was very surprised by what they said. Okay, so people are 4.5 times more likely to be unhappy if they are unmarried during their retirement years. And I think, of course, a lot of that makes sense when you consider companionship, someone around all the time to help take care of you, for you to take care of. Kind of gives everybody a little bit of a purpose. So it's not one of those hard, fast rules that says you have to be married or don't get divorced. Obviously, there's a lot of impacts from getting divorced during your retirement years, etc. So, but all of us want to have a happier retirement, and I think this is very crucial. Now, it's obviously a lot different if you become a widower or a widow. But this is just generally speaking. If you can stay and be married, you're 4.5 times likely to be more happy. The second one that I came up with is that people are happier when they have more things to do. In the article, they called it core pursuits. I think really what it is core habits, more habits that they pursue, or hobbies, hobbies they pursue all the time. So having more than one thing to do every day gives you some purpose without having work be the purpose. So 3.6 seems to be the average number of good hobbies to have if you want to have a happier life. That could be a combination of, doing puzzles and pickleball and walking and weightlifting and cooking and sewing and who knows what else. So find a few things and make a plan. So if you don't have any good hobbies, come up with a few. The next one is that they're happier if they live close to at least 50% of their adult grown children. And I think obviously that is kind of that nurture or nature type of situation where we feel good being around our kids and want to take care of them and do the best they can. I can tell you that the biggest struggle my wife and I are having is knowing that my son is still going to be in Northern Illinois, but my daughter is in Florida with us. And the other side of that being our grandchild is up here. So, and one of the ways that they suggested, and I highly agree with, making this an easier transition for you is to make sure that you have the flexibility and the finances to make visits as often as possible. While my wife works, that will be a little bit trickier. We have to work around her schedule a little bit. But for the most part, we have the resources and we have a great way to get here with a smaller air company being in town that we can fly in and out of using. And so it's very convenient. And of course, the rest of my wife's relatives, a lot of them, her mom and dad live here, and my mom lives here as well. So that's another reason you get to stay and see people, come up and see people that you miss and don't see on a regular basis. So it makes the holidays really nice for sure. All right, so this is the one that kind of caught me by surprise. They talked about having at least 3 good, strong connections with people. And I don't think they're necessarily talking about spouses here. I think they mean 3 friends that you can hang around and do stuff. Like if you're a golfer, it's nice to already have a built-in foursome. If you have 3 friends that'll play golf with you, or if you want to play cards, or if you're one of those kinds of people. But having 3 real-life connections that you can talk to any day of the week, that if you're having a bad day, you could call them up and the way they stated it was, you could call them up and ask to borrow money, and you'd have at least 3 friends that could say yes. So I think that's pretty important. But here's the part that surprised me the most, is that they said that not having this kind of friendship and social connection can be as bad for you as smoking, as in it can shave up to 8 years off your life. And that is astounding as far as I'm concerned. But I think it has a lot to do with just the loneliness aspect, not having people to share with, and not having real companionship. So pretty important. And this has to be people that you can actually reach out and touch, I think, and not so much just social media friends. I can tell you for sure and for certain that my wife and my daughter are still in very big contact, or very much in contact with their friends from Northern Illinois. My wife has some very close teacher friends that she's made working at a private Christian school, and they keep in touch all the time, daily for the most part. Not just a text and an email, this, that, and the other, but they actually make phone calls and videos and FaceTime. So very important to have those real world connections. And then the last one I have on here today is that you're 1.5 times more likely to be happy if you attend worship services on a regular basis. And that was one of the things that we had when we were in Northern Illinois together, is that we were members of the church that my wife taught at, etc. And that's one of the things she has missed severely, is not having the connections at church anymore. But she does stay connected with the people from church. And our church offers online live broadcasts on Sundays and recorded broadcasts, etc. But it's just not quite the same. And, just to add a little point to that too, it's a great place to make friends and a great place to find companions to help with your social aspect as well. So anyway, these are 5 great ideas and ways that you can try to fulfill yourself and have a happier retirement with some good habits and hobbies and friends. So keep that in mind. Thanks for watching today, and as always, we'll see you next time.